Hey guys, Kev here, and I wanted to continue my best of 2023 pocket knives video series. And I did the budget knife last time. I think this time what I'm going to do is the left-handed knife section. And again, just like the budget knife section, we don't have a lot of choices here of stuff that's still in my collection. So to be on this list, or sorry, to win this category, the knife must be in my possession. That limits us a lot, guys, because I pass around and give away a shit ton of knives that come in. I also sell a lot of knives that come in. So between those three things, it's very rare that a knife comes in and stays in. It's like 99% of knives come in, review, and they're gone. Or they get passed around, then they come back to me, then I give them away, sell them, whatever. So the other thing to mention along the lines of that, it's kind of a disclaimer I'm throwing out there this year, is I am not a crazy knife collector anymore, really. I am really enjoying the process of checking knives out, carrying them for a while, reviewing them, enjoying them, giving you my thoughts, and then after that, I pass them around to other people, or I sell them, or I give them away, or whatever. It's very rare that a knife ends up staying in the knife box, in the collection, and that's solely because I can't have that many knives because I review a shit ton of knives, so I'm always carrying new stuff, and me personally, I enjoy that process. Clearly, I have 3,000 plus videos. So for me, I'd rather move things along to keep, the channel going, right? Whether it's because I want to sell it to get some more money in, or because I want to pass it around to let other people experience it, give that company more exposure, etc., right? So it doesn't mean I don't love the knives. It doesn't mean those knives aren't good to me. It just is how I am. I review stuff and I move on. I don't keep and hoard pocket knives. And it's fine if that's how you roll. That's your way to do it. I have my own way. So I just want to put that out there because I feel like a lot of times people are like, well, this knife would be in there. And it's like, yeah, it would. I just don't have it anymore. It's awesome. But just not, in this video, this is my opinion and my thoughts based on my experience. Hope that makes sense. Just want to explain that. Got my Spindrift here in blood, orange, and tangerine. And today, we're going to talk about left-handed knives. So we do have a couple of honorable mentions. The first one is going to be from Griffin Knife and Tool Combat Beads. I'm going to pull it up here. And that is the Griffin Scout F3. Okay. And this knife does come in a left-hand configuration. I thought I pulled their website up, so let me just go back. Here's their website right here. We're going to go to shop, and we're going to try to find this bad boy, because I really want to... Man, please don't make this hard on me. I'm just trying to find the knife that you possibly are selling. Thank you. That's the Scout F Series. Here's the Scout F Series with inlays. These are all new. I think he did another pre-order already, which is good. So here's the Lefty. Looks like he did a bunch of inlay versions and stuff like that, which is really cool. I had the original run, which came out this year, so he's moving quickly on another batch, and it does not want to let me find it, so I'm going to just forget that. But you saw the knife there. It's a really cool knife. It ultimately just was a little bit thicker, and the ergos just weren't perfectly for my hand. But I loved it. It was really good, and it was left-handed, and it was one of the very few left-handed knives that I've had this year. But it was nice this year to see more left-handed knives. We definitely saw an increase in left-handed knives, which is awesome. So... the Scout F3 was really good. And then the other honorable mention would be the TW Price Dawn. and he did the Dawn V2 in left-handed, and I actually got one of those, and I just didn't mesh with the V2 because I'd had the V1 and I loved it, but he made it a little thicker and added the liner lock, and personally, I really didn't think it needed a left-handed version because it had a liner lock at that point. So, I don't know. It just didn't mesh with me. I really liked, if he would have made the frame lock V1 version left-handed, oh, it would have been game over for me. But it is what it is. Great knife, just didn't stick around super long. So, the first knife on this list, one of two knives in the collection that is left-handed, is the Vero Knife Co. Concept Collaboration Fenrir. And this one, if you watch my recent review on it, re-review, you'll know that when this first came out in the right-hand version, I was not that smitten with this knife. Honestly, a lot of people were raving about it, and I just didn't see what everybody was raving about. And then this year, Concept released it in a left-handed version. They release a lefty every year. They'll take one of their models and make it left-handed. And this was the choice this year, and thank God they did that. And also, thank God that randomly, last month, they just sent me this to review, which was awesome of them. I had already checked out a black bladed version with carbon fiber inlay, and I did a video on that or whatever, and that was left-handed, and I loved it. But I did end up, I think, passing that around or selling it or something. I don't remember. And then this showed up like a month or two ago, and I don't know what it is about this red G10 dimpling stuff that I really thought was stupid on camera or in pictures or whatever. But when I got this, it's amazing. I love this version of this knife. It's just really well done. And then the knife just kept growing on me. I mean, it's really comfortable in hand. You have a really nice finger choil. Things I really like, right? You have a good finger choil. Really nice grip right here for, penetrating. You have a low enough tip that doing some utility cutting is real easy. It's got a nice sharp blade on it. This one's in S35 VN steel, which for me is good to go. That's one of my favorite steels, honestly. And the detent on this example is just perfect. I mean, it thumb flicks so well. It reverse flicks really well. And I can front flip it really well. Now, sometimes I will admit that I will go to do the front flipper and kind of come over the top and miss it. I do wish they jimped this up and around. That really bugs me on this knife. That would be like the nail in the coffin for it. It might even win this category had it had that jimping, but it doesn't. Greg over at Vero Knife Co. is also an amazing dude. I've gotten to know him much better this year, and I think that plays a factor. I really like my relationships with makers and designers and whatever, right? And to me, I value those relationships way more than I value pocket knives. So it does play a part that I really love Greg and have really enjoyed getting to know him. So I think that's one of the reasons that I really love this knife, and it's kind of grown on me more and more. Now, I do want to note that I have a left-handed custom-made Strix from Greg that would definitely win this category, but it's not a production knife. I'm not going to add it to this list. Nobody can go buy that knife, so it doesn't feel right to put that on the list. Now, if I did like my favorite knife of 2023, that would probably be the winner. But this is best knives of 2023, and I think the caveat there is there's a star asterisk for production, right? So I just want to point that out. But I love this knife. It's phenomenal. And they're available. You can go to Concept's website and pick up this left-handed Fenrir for $160. Really, really good deal. Really well made by Concept. It's also a sub frame lock, or you could call it a reverse bolster lock, because you can get a little bit of the lock bar down here. But it also makes it really good as a lefty, because one problem I have left-handed with knives is thumb flicking, because I'm so used to the way I flick right-handed knives. My finger is always all over the lock bar, And so if it's a frame lock and it's left-handed, I have such a hard time thumb flicking it because I put pressure on the lock bar. Well, this, you don't have to worry about that because the lock bar is covered up. So it makes it really nice to thumb flick for me. And you can obviously roll back it. I don't know. I don't do this. Yeah, I don't do that move ever. But thumb flick, reverse flick, roll back, and then a good front flipper. And it cuts really well. Nice and thin grind. And it just does a great job. It's one of my favorites this year. And definitely a great left-handed option if you're looking for lefties. Now, the winner chicken dinner of the left-handed knives this year is easy. It was out of the gates, I think, in like February or something, the winner. That's the Vero Engineering Synapse Gen 2 lefty versions. I'm pretty sure these came out this year. Pretty positive anyway. And this knife is so good. I had two of them. I did eventually move one of them. But it has never been a question that this knife would stay in my collection. And I absolutely love this knife. This would, if we did I will actually do a best knives of 2023 premium knife, which is like, you know, 100, whatever is not budget and up is how I'm doing that. I'm not breaking it up into a bunch of categories. This would be on it for sure. But it's going to win the lefty category, so it'll be in that final video anyway. So I won't need to add it to that. But it's just amazing. The Synapse has always been one of my favorite knives from Vero Engineering. I really love the Mini Impulse as well. I'm really hoping he does that one next as the lefty version, but I'm guessing he won't. It'll probably be something bigger or just different. But a Mini Impulse lefty would be fucking ridiculously awesome. These are available. So that's something I want to make clear here, guys. Both of the knives in this video are available. If you want to see more left-handed knives in the community, please buy these. All right? If you're left-handed, please buy them. You know, us lefties cry about getting left-handed knives and then they come out and nobody buys them. I can attest to that because I released a pre-order for a left-handed knife this year. And we got enough to fund it and do the run and everything, but it was just enough. If Best Tech didn't have a minimum of 50 to do lefties, you wouldn't see any lefties, right? The people doing them, TW Price, Griffin Company, us at Divo, Vero Engineering, who else? I think there was another one this year. All of them, Best Tech models. Because Best Tech will do a lower quantity. Now, Vero, I believe, he's a nut and he orders like 500. But that's still a huge, huge downgrade from what he orders on a normal knife. Like a right-handed knife, he probably orders 2,000, 2,500, something like that. So only ordering 500 tells you a lot. It's just hard to sell left-handed knives. So if you're out there, buy the damn thing so that more people will want to make them, because my experience with the Stout pre-order does not make me want to do any left-handed knives. It doesn't. If we work with Best Tech in the future on a knife, yeah, we'll probably offer lefties because they'll let us do 50. But if it's any other OEM, the minimum's like 300. It's like any other new model that you have to do. And there's no way I'd order 300 of something because I wouldn't sell them. You know what I mean? So that's just something to keep in mind when you're complaining how there's not enough left-handed knives. It's because when there are, people aren't buying them. And it's a fair thing, and I've done the math on this. You have X amount of people to buy the knife, and just for, you know, the sake of this video, let's say 10% of the people are left-handed. You then have to combat things. Like, out of that 10%, how many people like M390? How many people like a drop point? How many people want titanium? How many people want marbled carbon fiber, right? How many people will actually spend $350? right? How many people have the money at that moment? How many people will actually do a pre-order? How many, right? And it just keeps going on and on and on. And you just trickle that 10% down to like 50. All right. So I get it. But just to put it out there, if you're left-handed and you're on the fence, buy some left-handed knives because it will help push that forward a little bit. We did have a really solid step in the right direction this year by seeing 5 or 6 models come out in left-handed versions. So that is really cool to see. And yeah, this is number 92. And I think the other one I had was like 5 something. So I think there was like 500. Maybe it was 4 something. But yeah, this is a beautiful knife. It's a belt satin M390. I did get the Damascus clip. I got the set, but then I put it on another knife, and then I just got a clip, and I put it on here because I didn't want to go full bling. I just like the clip, and it's got a nice little pop to it. It's got a really good bolster lock, and it just is nice, man. It's got a good flipper tab on it. I've always loved the Vero flipper tab. And then you have that pocket, and that's the key to this being left-handed is you get that flick that you didn't get with the right-handed version. And I even loved the right-handed version. So the fact that we got a lefty just really was amazing. And this is definitely one of my favorite knives of the year, and certainly my favorite left-handed knife this year. So that's it for the left-handed knives. We have 2, the Fenrir and the Synapse Gen 2. Now, again, the Griffin Company, the Dawn, if I still had them, I'm sure they would be on the list, but they would not be at the top of it. This Vero and this Concept Fenrir are at the top of my lefty list right now, and I love them. So there you go. Your winner chicken dinner of this video is the Synapse. So you will be seeing that in the showdown that I will do along with the winner from the budget category we had in the last video, which is the Tempest Knives Microburst. So far, these are your 2 knives you're going to see in that best of 2023 pocket knife video. So there you go. I love you guys. Please let me know down in the comments which left-handed knives you would have put in this video, which left-handed knives you would classify as the best of 2023, and let me know why I'm wrong and anything else you want to tell me. Comments are welcome. Like and subscribe. I love you guys. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. There's links to the knives that I've shown you here down below. If you use my links, it does help the channel, and I will catch you later. Peace.